talk about, today I'm going to present about enhancing employee well-being and fostering a healthy work environment. I would like to start by saying that employee well-being and healthy work environment is actually critical to overall success. And what do I mean by this? We are going to see in the upcoming slides and also discuss during today's lecture. It is seen that employee well-being techniques and fostering a healthy work environment has actually a positive impact on productivity, retention, and morale of employees. Investing in employee well-being and fostering a healthy work environment creates an effect that profoundly influences organizational success. As we have said before, and what I have told you in my previous lectures, is that by investing in your employees, you are investing on your own business. When employees feel supported and valued by their work, their productivity soars. So we have employees that come to work with the desire to work and not just with the thought of I am going to go to work because I need it. We need people in order to be successful. We need people that actually go to work because they want to go to work. Research shows that engaged employees are 20% more productive, translating directly into higher output of efficiency. This increased productivity not only boosts the bottom line but also enhances the quality of work and creativity within teams. Retention focuses or rates significantly improve in organizations that prioritize well-being. Companies that have wellness programs, they have a lower turnover rates, which mean they spend less time in recruiting your people because by implementing these new wellness programs, their or employees see that this policy is something good for them or is something that they don't see in other companies. When employees feel a sense of belonging and see their employees generally care of their well-being, they are more likely to commit in a long-term relationship with the organization, which translates into a culture of loyalty and continuity. Morale is the lifeblood of any organization. A positive work environment nurtures high morale, leading to greater collaboration between teamwork, between a good sense of motivation, and a sense of community among employees. Organizations with high moral experience a 20% boost in employee satisfaction and creating an atmosphere where individuals feel more motivated to contribute and support one another. So we can see that if we implement good mental well-being or well-being policy for our employees. And if we try to foster a positive environment where they can see growth, we can see that this has a positive impact on productivity, retention, morale, success. And what does this mean? This means that we are more likely to be successful. Okay? What is employee well-being? Employee well-being is a definition of overall physical, mental, emotional, and financial health at work. It's like having a balance between all these components. This is what employee well-being is, but in terms of the work environment. Some of the key elements of employee well-being are, of course, health, job satisfaction, happiness, and trying to help your employees into developing a work and life balance. One of the most, because the goals are a lot, but and different, I would say, to each employee or each industry. But one of the most often goal and the most important goal of employee well-being is to find fulfillment and balance for improved performance. Importance of employee well-being. It is employee well-being is important because it helps in productivity boost, and by happier employees we have higher productivity, and by higher productivity we have loyalty and long-term relationship. As we said here, satisfied employees stay longer, and by staying longer you have this cost savings. You are less stressed because you don't spend that much time into hiring and recruiting, or trying to all the time change your recruitment process. Healthier employees reduce healthcare costs and sick days because, as we said, they are happy to come to work and they don't come to work only because they should to. What is a healthy work environment? Healthy work environment is a workplace where employees actually feel safe, respected, and supported. Key characteristics of a healthy work environment are inclusivity, open communication, and professional growth. Some of the benefits of a healthy work environment are higher engagement, retention, and productivity. So these are all elements that we can see in our strategy and make some goals about how we are going, or some techniques of how we are going to implement this into the company's policy. Importance of healthy work environment, we can say that are enhanced moral. So having a positive culture actually boosts morale. Of course, that if we present, or if interns, or if our own employees share feedback about their company having a healthy work environment, it is more easy for you to attract new talent. Companies that care attract top talent, actually, due to recent researches. And of course, it builds loyalty because employees feel valued and connected. Here you have some research finds, for example, and also an example. For example, Google, it has retention and satisfaction through well-being initiatives. And I would say that in the latest years, more and more companies are giving a huge interest, or they are having a huge interest into how they can initiate well-being strategies for fostering a healthy work environment. What are some strategies for enhancing employee well-being? First, you need to help your employees realize their work and life balance. Will it be 100% sure that they will realize, or that they will develop this work and life balance? Not in all of the terms, but if you try to initiate this, then they will be more willing also to give it a try. Flexible schedules, remote work options, or hybrid work options, or project based. So there are a lot of them, depending, of course, in the industry, in the field that you are working, etc. Physical health, for example, can be another strategy. You can implement in your policy some physical health, or some gym memberships or fitness classes that employees can have by working in this or in your company. Mental health support, and is this is a strategy that has been using or has been initiated more and more in the last years, and financial planning resources where you can give your employees a course or a membership to financial wellness programs so they can learn more on how they can, let's say, calculate their finances or take care of their finances. Sorry. But what are some techniques for having a healthy work environment? First and foremost, and the most important, not only in work environment, but as well as in every aspect of life, is open communication. And how can we implement open communication? By encouraging our employees to give feedback and idea sharing with each other. If you don't communicate, then you cannot understand what the other person is thinking or why is he behaving like this. Safety and comfort. Employees should feel that they are safe and not only physically but also psychologically. Inclusive inclusivity and diverse culture are also very important into fostering a healthy work environment. And leadership development. Every company, I think, should equip managers and supervisors or team leaders in order to support their teams. And I think that this is another way of how companies may initiate some new policies regarding to healthy work environment by investing or by pushing the ones that are in a leader like supervisors, managers, or team leaders to have the right training on how to enhance all of these 3 points that we talked about before, like open communication, safety and comfort, and inclusive culture. Because at the end of the day, managers, supervisors, and team leaders are the ones that will take care of their team, are the ones that can feel first why an employee isn't being productive or what is happening with this employee. Okay. Now, how to write a strategy plan in order to enhance employee well-being. These are some points on how to help you write a strategy plan if you are a manager or if you are working as a human resources manager or human resources assistant or human resources director or company manager, or in the future if you would like to work in this field. These are some general points that you need to keep in mind when you start working on writing a strategy plan. But everything should be defined regarding the industry that you work, the field, and the company, of course. Okay. First, you need to define your objectives. Identify the specific goals that you want to achieve. For example, reducing turnover or improve employee satisfaction or attract new talent, etc. Set measurable targets for each of these specific goals that you need to achieve. Secondly, conduct a needs assessment. Survey employees to identify well being needs and preferences. So, you need to understand what your employee needs and preferences are in order for you then to identify gaps or areas for improvement. Analyze existing programs and resources to identify gaps and review industry best practices and benchmarks. Always remember the type of industry that you work in when you are writing the goals and the surveys. Engaging stakeholders. Involve leadership, HR, and employee representatives in the planning process. You see, that's why I told you that the persons who are working as managers, supervisors, team leaders are the ones that should be more aware because they are the first persons that can see what's going wrong in their team. Create a task force or committee dedicated to employee well-being initiatives. So, in the third phase or in the third step, you should conduct let's say, a team or a task force dedicated only to work into these new initiatives that you may have. Here, I'm talking about well-being, but it can also be something else. Then, identify specific well-being programs to implement. For example, what type of programs you may need or what type of programs can work for you both financially and in terms of your employees. For example, mental health resources or fitness activities or flexible working arrangements. Also, you may consider a holistic approach that addresses all of these, like physical, mental, emotional, and financial well being. After all these four steps, you can then create an action plan. The action plan starts by outlining a timeline for implementing each initiative that you want to take. Assign responsibilities to team members for each action item because they need to keep on track about everything that they do, and establish a budget for the programs and initiatives. Then we need to communicate this plan to other team members. Develop a communication strategy to inform your employees about the new initiatives. You can use multiple communication channels, such as emails, meeting, to ensure everyone is informed. I would say that due to experience, the best way is to have meetings with each, let's say, department or with every employee if it is a small company, so you know that everyone is informed, and highlights the benefits of the initiatives and encourage participation, because if we don't have participation, then we cannot have feedback. The next step is implementing these initiatives that we make. First, you will launch your program according to your action plan, and then you will provide resources and support to help employees engage in these initiatives. Monitor progress and is very, very important. Establishing key performance indicators to measure the success of initiatives. And by measuring the success of initiatives, it's like having a feedback of our employees for these initiatives that we have. And regularly, of course, gather feedback from employees to assess the effectiveness of the program. Evaluate and adjust. So analyze this feedback and data to identify the areas for improvement. Celebrate successes, and even if the success isn't since the beginning, you should see that as an area for improvement and not as a loss or as something negative. And of course, to not leave this only one time, but to create a continuous improvement loop. As everything is changing, as everything is evolving, we cannot say that the same strategy that we used 10 years ago can be used also now. So you need to improve that, let's say, time to time, to see what works best for your employees, because what is working best for your employees is also working for you. Tools and resources that can be used for this. We have the employee assistance programs, which may be some counseling and mental health support. We have wellness apps that can be used, recognition programs, or feedback channels. And this is also something good like surveys or open dialogue. But I think that feedback channels and employee assistance programs are the ones that are two of the resources for initiatives that have worked best for now. How can we actually measure impact of well-being programs? So we have the strategy plan, we implement it. Now, how can we measure what kind of impact does this have? First are the employee survey and the employee satisfaction survey. They show or they keep on track of how engagement and satisfied your employees are. And by analyzing these findings and by analyzing this feedback, you can try to find what is working and what is not working. Some health indicators are also the ones that can be measured, like sick days, healthcare usage, etc. So you can measure these ones in order to understand more about your well-being programs, or why this person is taking so many sick days, or what is happening, etc. And productivity metrics, of course, monitoring retention and performance impact. And you can monitor performance by surveys, by assessment, or by some smaller reinforcements, by some bonuses, and so on. What are some challenges? Because as everything else that we talk, there are also some challenges, of course, in enhancing well-being. Well-being, or trying to have and initiate on enhancing well-being programs, and of course work a healthy work environment is a very good thing, but it has its own pros and cons like everything else. And after the pandemic, most of the companies had some challenges, not only due to the pandemic, but also the style of working has changed. Also, people having the desire or willingness to go to work has changed. But now we're going to talk about some general challenges. Some general challenges are budget constraints, that sometimes organizations have some limited financial resources to well-being initiatives, and this makes it a little bit harder for them to implement this. Because as we said in the strategy plan, one of the steps of the strategy plan was that you could build a team to work only in this direction. But without having a budget, you cannot you cannot have it. Securing support from leadership is crucial for successful implementation. As I said, one of the key factors that will work, these are the ones that are working as supervisors, team leaders, or managers. But educating these leaders on the long-term benefits of employee well-being program emphasizes alignment with organizational goals and improved productivity. But not all the time, all the people are willing to be educated or to be trained. And not all the time, maybe the organizations have the budget to train themselves, all of these employees. And of course, we have the employee engagement. We cannot say, although these are very good initiatives, we cannot say that they will have a high participation rates or they will be the same or have a positive impact on every employee. So these are some of the most common challenges. Let's talk now about some future trends. So digital well-being, and as we talked since the beginning, everything is evolving and everything is going towards technology. So also in the future, we will have this balance between creating a digital well-being programs or initiatives. So for employees or for people worldwide, making this for all. Holistic health programs that are programs or comprehensive support for physical, mental, and financial health. So they have this approach of having not only mental or physical, but having all of them, both physical, mental, and financial health. And of course, artificial intelligence personalization. Now, with artificial intelligence and people that are using artificial intelligence, you can form or you can create and develop customized well-being recommendations for your employees without having a team, a whole team, but maybe one or two persons that know how to use artificial intelligence can do this work for you. I just want to conclude by saying that, of course, both well being and healthy work environments benefit both employees and organizations. Investment in these areas bring a higher productivity, retention, and positive culture, and it's a win-win for stronger, resilient teams and organizational growth. And as I always say, invest in your employees so you can invest on your own company. Thank you so much. And now I will bring the stage for all of your questions so we can answer them. Thank you once